www.thegreatwhitebrotherhood.org.
Who are the Great White Brotherhood, and the Stairway to Freedom? This information was provided by Bob Sanders, and was added as an About section for the Stairway to Freedom website in 2016. I don't pretend to know everything that there is to know about them. I only know what they have told me. They are an enormous group of people, who had an incarnation here on earth, have finished that incarnation, and are now in the heavenly spheres. The organization was started some hundreds of years ago by these people, many of whom are still guiding it, as in the spirit world, we are immortal. The very oldest, are extremely wise, as they have been learning about spirituality, for such a long time. There is a long chain of people, stretching from the oldest and wisest, down to people who have been in the spirit realms a lesser period of time, and are, therefore, less wise. Finally, we get down to the lowest point, which are people like me. I am incarnate on earth, and, therefore, am the least wise, and spiritual. The term white refers to levels of purity, and has no connection to race, or skin color. Equally, the word brotherhood does not exclude women from being part of it. Why I was chosen to work with the Great White Brotherhood, I don't really know. All I can say is, that I came from a family, where my mother was a natural medium, and I went to a school where great stress was placed upon formal education, and so, I went into adulthood, knowing quite a lot about the esoteric world, and also, with a good command of the English language. Both of these seemingly unrelated factors came in very valuable later, when I was contacted by the Brotherhood, and asked to work with them. The way that happened, was that I was meditating one evening, and I saw in my mind's eye, a Victorian-looking gentleman appear, complete with long coat, beard, and stovepipe hat. I told him to go away, and not disturb my meditation, but, he kept coming back into my consciousness. Finally, I asked him what he wanted, and he gave me his name, Dr. William Latimer, and said that he worked with a group called, the Great White Brotherhood, and that he had come to assist me to become a healer. I asked him to furnish me with his personal details, date of birth, date of death, where he was educated, where he practiced medicine, and so on. He provided me with all these details, and I checked him out, with the relevant medical authorities in England, where I lived at that time, and they proved correct. So I accepted him on probation, telling him that the slightest problem, and I would chase him from my life. That was over 40 years ago, and never once has he, or any of the other members of the Brotherhood, ever put a foot wrong. As I progressed, various other guides came into my life, all members of the Great White Brotherhood, and each one charged with a particular aspect of my spiritual development. Also, as I developed, so I was given what are called the gifts of the Spirit. I say given, but I had to do much meditation, before these gifts developed. These gifts include, telepathy, telekinesis, clairsentience, which is the ability to read someone's aura, and know a lot about that person, and so on. These gifts are very useful, but must only ever be used to help others, never to help oneself. So, I started as a healer, moved on to giving spiritual advice to people in difficulty, and then, starting in 1980, I was asked to get ready to receive a book, to be dictated by the Brotherhood to me. Eventually, after some preliminary training, the dictation started. I had no idea of the content of this book. The way that I received this book, is that I would sit down in the evening, with a writing pad and pen, clear my mind, and I would hear a voice talking to me in my head. I merely wrote what I heard, not having any idea if it would make sense or not. It was only at the end of each evening session, when I read the message again, that I saw that it did, indeed, make sense. Gradually, over quite a lot of time, the book was finished, and I was told that its title was, The Stairway to Freedom. I was asked to try to make the book available to the public, but I couldn't get it published at that time, so I shelved the idea, until now. Thanks to the internet, and, thanks to help from various people, the book is available for free, online, as a talking book, and as downloadable files, in audio or written text, such as a PDF file. Thank you. Bob Sanders.
Thank you for watching. Please visit www.thegreatwhitebrotherhood.org for more information, lessons, and free downloadable books.